So what's the big deal? Oh my goodness. So as we all know, Trump was on the Joe Rogan show and he did a 3-hour interview. Now, watching that interview, and I watched all 3 hours, it was a nothing burger, right? I didn't learn anything new about Trump. He didn't say anything new. There was nothing, no new policy that he mentioned on the Joe Rogan. It was just him talking and Joe Rogan glazing him, right? There was no heavy-hitting questions. It was just them talking about a bunch of random nonsense and Trump saying, the stuff that he always says. I don't see how that benefited his campaign. I don't know. I don't know anyone, honestly, right now who's going to a Joe Rogan podcast for their political decision on this election. I don't know if they're seeing an interview and going, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but after that Joe Rogan podcast that he did, he's definitely got my vote. I don't know who those people are. Upon Kamala seeing this interview, Kamala reached out to Joe Rogan.
Well, she actually reached out when she found out that he was coming on. So their camp reached out to me. So I said, great, I would love to talk to her.
It's funny to see all the headlines because all the headlines are like, Joe Rogan declined Kamala's interview, Joe Rogan refused to do Kamala's interview, and yada, 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 right? So I'm like, I find that very interesting because let's think about this. You have Joe Rogan, who's come out even recently. You saw him out. Well, I gave her the opportunity to come on my show. You know what? I just want to talk to her, right? I just want to talk to her.
You could look at this and you could say, oh, you're being a diva. But she had an opportunity to come here when she was in Texas, and I literally gave them an open invitation. I said, anytime. I said, if she's done at 10 o'clock, we'll come back here at 10 o'clock. My whole goal with her and with him is just talk. Just have a conversation like a human being.
And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean you gave her the opportunity? Like, let's think about this, right? What do you mean you gave her the opportunity? Yes, you have a big podcast, 100%. But to act like you gave the Vice President of the United States of America an opportunity to be on your podcast is wild framing. It's absolutely wild framing. Now, what happened is that, nothing's happened thus far because Joe Rogan didn't agree to the terms. And it wasn't anything crazy. All she said, hey, I'm not doing 3 hours. I'm doing 1 hour. You have to fly out to interview me. And it's wild to see all the sycophants of Joe Rogan going, stand your ground, bro. Stand your ground. You make her go into Austin or you don't do the show. And I'm just like, what leverage do you think you have over the VP? I'm just curious. Like, we're talking about Trump, and then we're talking about, what's his name? I already forgot his name, his VP. That's how inconsequential he is to this election.
Thrilled to be in Pennsylvania. We actually recorded an episode of Joe Rogan this morning, so we started out in Austin, Texas.
I'm like, these are two jobless people. They're jobless. They don't have jobs right now. Of course they have time. I always find it funny that the people with no job always want to criticize those with a job. Like, man, why do you do that? Why do you wake up so early? Man, why do you do like, bro, you're couch surfing. Who are you to tell me what I'm doing job-wise or career-wise? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Get your life together. And I just find that interesting that people are trying to criticize her, talking about, oh, she's scared. She can't do 3 hours because she can't say anything. The reason why she probably doesn't want to do 3 hours is the same reason that she couldn't do the National Association of Black Journalists, where they try to make it seem that, oh, she canceled. It was like, no. She doesn't have that time right now in her schedule. What happens is that they rescheduled and she sat down and did the interview. It's the same thing here. You have to understand, she just became the candidate I think 2 months ago? Wasn't it in August, if I'm not mistaken? And can you compare that to someone who's already been president of the United States, to someone who's already been making rounds years ago? And to act like, oh, she has to come to me. No, pimpin'. She's going to campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign. There's a video of her, I believe she's on her plane and she's yawning. Not gonna lie, she's probably exhausted because she has to double time. She has to double time because she has a limited time to get out who she is, what her policies are, what she stands for, how she separates herself from Trump, how she separates herself from Biden. There's a litany of things on the table, a lot of spinning plates. So for people to act like, oh, she's scared to do an interview, bro, who got 3 hours to go to Austin, Texas, right? Austin, Texas. I'm sorry, is Texas up for Democrats? Is this up for, is she gonna get the electoral votes from Texas? Is that what we're saying? That, hey, This would behoove her to go to Texas so she can get those votes potentially, okay? Because it's in the running. There is nothing there for her. And much less a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan. Like, how is that gonna move the needle? That's all I'm saying. How is that gonna push the needle? I don't know. But I just find it interesting how people are like, oh, he's given her, an opportunity and everything. I just like, it's completely just void of all common sense. All common sense. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not anybody lose, she didn't do it because she is scared, okay? She is scared. She can't talk for 3 hours. Or I believe maybe she's campaigning in, states that are needed for her to win the electoral college. Maybe that's what she's doing. Maybe she doesn't have time to go to Austin, Texas, to Joe Rogan's studio to do a 3-hour interview to talk about what? I guess just to know her as a person. Anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me. Friday through Sunday, disagreement day. You call in, we'll duke it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Should she do it? Will she do it? Is this a giant opportunity for her? And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
Have a conversation like a human being.